Okay. Hi again. Alright, so this here is going to be a follow-up to the last video that I just put out and that was about using Audacity and pulling audio files from videos that you own. Perhaps it's your music or your podcast or something, and you need the audio from a particular video, and you could use the information in that video about how to use Audacity to get your content that belongs to you. Especially useful if you happen to have really old stuff up on YouTube and for whatever reason you no longer have access to that particular audio any longer. You know, maybe it's an old band's music or something like that. And this here is essentially a follow-up to that video. And what we're going to do is we're going to use SoundForge now to edit an audio track. And then we're going to create a playlist using SoundCloud. Excuse me. I don't know. I keep saying SoundCloud for. Using SoundForge. So let's start off with editing. What we're going to do here is just, where did I have that audio file now? Right, okay. We're going to go ahead and get to the, oh, wrong one. Where was I headed? I'm sorry, I'm having trouble remembering where I put that. Oh, yes, sorry. Okay, here we go. I forgot that I left it in here. Okay, so I'm going to move this folder off-site. Off to a different monitor. You won't be able to see it, but it won't matter. In the last video, in the last video of doing the audio rip from videos with Audacity, this folder file right here was in that. Okay, what we're going to be working with is this test audio of mine specifically for editing and using SoundForge to do that. So let's just go ahead and drag it over there. Okay. So if you hit your space bar, you can play it, and of course you can just click play here too. So we're going to use the space bar though for simplicity. I am using OBS Studio for an audio video test file for another video. Alright, now what you're going to want to do is take your scroll wheel and just kind of scroll out a little bit. You see how we opened up things and tighten it back up again? Scroll it out. Alright, I prefer things to be scrolled out a little bit. It makes things easier for cutting and deleting segments that you don't want. Especially useful if you're making an audio playlist and perhaps you're a DJ and you're doing an off-air pre-recorded show or something like that, and you're in you're in post, doing the editing. It's always useful to be able to get in there and remove accidental misspeakings and things like that. Okay, so for example, there is a spot in here where my phone dings, and because I was on my mic, you could hear it. Let's see where that is. It might be around here. Nope. Or an audio video test file. Okay, so I thought it was earlier than that. Let's just start off with the beginning. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I am using OBS Studio for an audio video test file for another video. Okay, well, before we get to that, do you see this here? This is like a blank space. It might even be like my breath from breathing, just breathing in between as I talk. Matter of fact, that's where the, sounds like that's where the sound from my phone comes in too. This is, alright, so let's say I want to get rid of that. Let's say, I was doing a recording and I forgot to put my phone on silence and it makes that silly sound. This is just This is just, all right, so we don't want to screw up the whole section here, so we want to break it out. Okay, let's kind of move that back a little bit a minute. All right, so this is the section we're working with. This is, all right, so it seems to be, it's right around here. Oh, this is, I might not be able to pull that out. Sometimes I can actually get in there and get rid of those things, but I'm not so sure I could do that here. This is, oh, just a test file. All right, so in that case, if I wasn't able to, you know, get rid of like back noise that for whatever reason I just couldn't get rid of it. I mean, it kind of seems like it's right here. Oh. No, it's not. Okay, so where? Okay, is interesting. Is this? Oh, it's further up. Hmm. Oh no, it's actually the whole point. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, so I really can't pull out the sound from the phone, so what I would do is highlight what I don't want and hit delete with my keyboard, and there it is, it's gone. But you see all this blank space now. We'd have to take this and go like this. Whoa, I went a little too fast. Sorry. Okay, now we're back in. So see that there? That's my breath. That's me breathing in and out as I'm talking. And my mic happens to be really sensitive. And even though I'm using a boom and a wind guard and a pop filter, it still picks up just about everything. All right, here we go. So I don't want that. I'm going to go ahead and delete it. Just a test file. All right. So then after I get rid of what I don't want, I can come back for another video. Just a test file. Now, that sounds terrible, of course, because we cut out things we don't want, right? So we would just get rid of more of what we don't need. Let's see here. Just a test file. So I think we're right up to there. Just a test. Oh no. Let's see how far it goes. Just a test file. Nothing. Right there, I think. Just a test file. Yep, just a test file. So what we could do is just get rid of that and see what happens. For another video. Oh, nothing really important here. You see what I mean? Now we get rid of that stupid sound from the phone, and it sounds a little bit more legible. And after I do something like that, what I'll do is I'll pull it back in with my mouse, and I'll look for things like this. That is probably a breathing noise. See what I mean? So, I mean, I don't necessarily always have to go in there and yank those out, but sometimes they're very loud and very prominent, like that one is. It's terrible. So we just go ahead and get rid of that. But this is for testing 1, 2. So you see what I mean? There's no in between that. Right. And I don't even do that intentionally. I mean, yes, right then and there I did it intentionally on purpose to make it like, to accentuate the sound. But like, I'm not breathing heavy intentionally, but the mic picks it up and it makes it sound like I am. Okay. Now, let's see what else we can look at here. Here might be another section, right? So I would pull in. Oh, and I would just kind of go like that. And there's another breathing spot I might want to get rid of. So I just go ahead and do that. Oh, it just went. Oh, that's weird. Audio, that was strange. It went. Did you notice how for a minute there it was all empty? And we know it's not. We've heard the entire track already. Blah blah. Audio is recording. Audio is recording. Testing 1 2. Test 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 test. Okay, so yeah, that little thing we just seen happen there was kind of an anomaly. It certainly isn't something I've seen happen before, which is why it surprised me, of course. But okay. So it is nearly midnight. The kid is sleeping, and I'm trying to be quiet, so I'm not talking as loud as I did in the other videos. So what we're going to do here is scroll out to the top. Now, see, here's a little bit of like a blank space there. We can always get rid of that. I am using OBS Studio for an audio. Now, it's really not necessary to come in and grab every single one of the, because you never know if it's not really breathing. Studio for things like that. And so this one might be an and. So how I know is because I've been doing this long enough to know that I recognized when I say and or and things like that, and I can actually notice when it says and I can just go ahead and get rid of it. But I don't think that is completely and. It almost sounds like it's or an audio video. No, and audio. Okay. Why is it doing? Or an audio video test file for another video. Oh, nothing really important here. The next video coming that will go on. All right. So let's see here now. Trying to find some spots where we could fix up some screw ups. Let's just see what we got going on here. That will go along. That will. What is that, huh? What is this? Like, what is that? We don't know. But it's in there. That. So what I could do is just come right in here. All right. Just delete that. That will go along with this. We'll explain what this is for. Testing 1 2. All right. So let's go ahead and scrub that up now. So we've already cut off some time off of it. Let's see where we're at. 1 minute and 15 seconds. I think the original was 1 minute and 18 seconds, so we didn't really cut that much off, as you see there, and that's okay. Really, I'm not trying to go off and edit this as if it's something I care about. This is just to show you how you can go about editing. How you can go about editing things you don't want. So right there at the end, that was like sort of blank space. Just go ahead and delete that. This might be a breathing line right here. Yeah, see what I mean? I don't know what that is or why that picks it up so well, but it does. Okay, so let's back that up a minute. Now, let's say you did a recording like this. So you've got your recording already done. One of the things that I've noticed, at least for me, if I'm going to be doing something on air, for the radio show, that at times it's best to change the volume of my vocals. So I would do this. Now this is definitely cranked higher than necessary, but I have noticed that there's times when it's where it's actually better off to have it just a little bit higher. But let's go ahead and do that. Now those are going to peak. You see, that's definitely too high. I probably wouldn't keep it like that. If I was going to up the volume, I'd probably do it like a smidgen less. But now let's go ahead and... I am using OBS Studio for an audio video test file for another video. Now, nothing really important. Now watch over on the side here. You'll see that we start hitting up into the red a bit. I am using OBS Studio for an audio video test file for another video. Alright, so that shows where the volume has been cranked, and I always start almost peaking out too much. It's because it's a little bit too high. Sometimes it's not such a big deal though. It seems to be a little bit more so when I'm doing a recording from my mic in between songs and things like that. If I was doing a playlist for my radio show. These tend to be blank space, air, breathing. So I can, go in there and get rid of those whenever I want. Okay, now we messed around with it. Let's leave it right there for a sec. Okay, now that's step one to getting your playlist together, because you're going to be grabbing tracks and placing them in there. Let's just say this is one of them, your first track, because I don't really think you're going to get on a mic and talk to yourself on your own mixed playlist. You know what I mean? Now, of course, if you're doing this for a radio program, that's of course different, and you'd get on the mic and you'd talk to your audience, and that would be in between songs or in between so many songs. For me, sometimes I'll play 4 songs and then I'll get on air. Sometimes I'll get on air immediately after playing a song if I want to inform listeners more about the song and things like that. Okay, so we've done a little bit of editing here, and we've, cut out some things we don't really want. It's a little bit shorter than it was originally. Now we're at 1 minute and 10 seconds. I mean, that's not too bad. And yes, I could very well come in here and, get rid of stuff like this. Get rid of that dead air, and the more I cut, the more I have room. Now that's the right channel, and this is your left channel. But if you go right in the middle, you can get them both. Okay, now that sounds like something I wouldn't want to cut. In half, testing 1, 2. Yeah, see, this was actually part of that word. Okay. Going somewhere with this, trust me here. Alright. Okay, so there we are. We've edited a track. Now, what if we wanted to change something we did? Okay, let's see what we can do here. I'm going to attempt to talk. I am talking into my mic, but I'm going to attempt to record myself talking onto this track here, the test audio. All right. And I believe I can do that with Control R and also here. Yes, Control R. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a recording like we were just needing something to fix. To create something to fix. All right. Here we go. So we're going to go record. Now I'm recording individually to the, not individually, I don't know where that came from. Directly is what I meant to say. Now I am recording from my mic directly to this SoundForge program, and it's going to add it to the end of that track you just heard. Testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2. And you might notice how small that line is when I'm talking, and that right there is why I would go in and adjust the volume. I think that's enough recording. Let's go ahead and stop. Now, as I was saying once before, when I talk and I record onto SoundForge, it's awfully quiet. So what I typically have to do is highlight it, and then I go to Process, Volume, and I boost it up. Now again, this is quite a lot, but for doing it over air and things like that, it tends to be actually kind of okay to peak out a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And you see here, this isn't peaking nearly as badly as that did. All right. So let's give it a quick play. Now I'm recording individually to the, not individually, I don't know where that came from. Directly is what I meant to say. Now I am recording from my mic directly to this SoundForge program, and it's going to add it to the end of that track you just heard. Testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2. And you might notice how small that line is when I'm talking, and that right there is why I would go in and adjust the volume. I think that's enough recording. Let's go ahead and stop. Okay, now let's say there's something in here that I didn't really like. Maybe, I messed up. I misspoke or something. Let's just go in and remove that. Yeah, that seems like a good thing to remove. Just go ahead and delete that. Oh, what if I made a mistake and I didn't really want to delete that? Luckily, we have our undo. So you can pretty much undo most of the things that you do, like volume and, undo delete and so on. There's so many different things that this software does. And that's just a real quick show you how to take a track and then talk to it. And let me see here. I think what we'll do is we'll stop this one right now, and we'll come back with creating an actual playlist through SoundForge, and then we can maybe try some more things with Audacity another time. All right, let's go ahead and stop this now.